Hello everyone, welcome to Sakhi Paper Studio. So today I'm going to recreate these flowers that you can see, and this is the A5 sketchbook by Loop. The GSM of these papers is 150 and they're quite thin, and you're going to see me create on these paper itself, and I'm going to tear off this paper later on and create a few projects out of it. I've also kept watercolors ready, and I'm going to spritz some water first just so that the watercolors gets activated, and then I'm going to use this water brush pen. It already has water inside, so it's easy for me to spread color, and I don't have to dip my brush again and again inside a bowl of water. So I'm going to create flowers which are pink in color because I've already done this activity once in red color and once in yellow color. So I'm going to take this pink color and I'm just going to dab and create a very rough outline like this, and I'm not going to bother too much whether the intensity of the color is high or low. I'm just enjoying and playing, spreading the colors in such a way that it looks a little bit like flowers. And to begin with, in my mind I'm having that I'm going to create 4 sized flowers: big, medium, small and very small. So combining these 4 sizes, I'm going to fill up the entire page with flowers. And I'm just going to keep in mind one more thing, that the intensity of these flowers, the color intensity, I'm going to keep it in such a way that not all the dark colors appear to be clustered on one side. I want it to spread out. Some should be like little more heavier in color, and some should be very light, and some can be extremely light. So keeping in mind, I'm going to fill up the entire page. Now if you're going to go ahead and do the gradient effect, then why not? You can have an ombre effect, where you start with a dark and come down towards light, or start with light and come down towards dark. So that's completely your choice. I'm just going to make it random for this particular video. And yes, I'm almost done because I'm nearing to the smaller flowers now, using it as fillers. Smaller flowers always acts as fillers so that the page looks complete. One more thing, if you have noticed, the big sized flowers are almost 4 or 5 petaled flowers. The medium is around 3 to 4 petals, and the smaller ones are about 3 to 4 petals as well. And I'm not going down below 3, and the page is almost going to get completed. Now that the painting work is over, I'm going to put everything aside, and either you can set the page to dry, but I am in a bit of a hurry, so I'm going to use heat gun, which will help to get the page dried faster. Now I'm going to use these fine liners. Okay, now fine liners, the best part about fine liners is that you get in different sized nibs. Okay, so I'm going to start with the thicker nib for the bigger flowers, and this one is the number 4. And I'm again going to do very random outline like this. I'm not bothering it to be too perfect. You can even use the white space of the page to let the flower get inside the petal. You can see there is also white space sometimes in between, and that creates a doodle effect. Let that happen. You can even go ahead and create your own shapes. You can make the petals pointed, or if you are not planning to make these flowers while doing the watercoloring, you can even do oval shaped petals. Even that will do. So that's again your choice and your creativity, how you want to create flowers. The medium sized flowers are of the number 2 size, the fine liner that I'm talking about. And the very small ones, the size of the fine liner is 005. This pack is not a branded one. I'm not sure these are branded. These were just picked up from a local online store, but they work great for such projects. So while I'm completing this work, Let's talk about the projects that one can create using these flowers. So if you have a big sheet of paper, you can make these flowers and use as a gift wrapping paper. You can also create cards, greeting cards out of this same design. And yes, I'm going to show 3 more projects later on in this video, so wait for that. Now that the outlines are done, let me show you why white gel pen will not work, because it's too light. The watercolor itself is light colored, so on that the white color will not be seen properly. If the colors are a little dark, the white colored gel pens will stand out, but for light colors, as you can see on yellow color flowers, I had used orange color to draw the anther. If I'm not wrong, I had to google it what they're called, but these lines that you can see, right? And for these light pink colored flowers, I'm going to use blue color pen because it stands out. So I'm going to fill the entire page now. So once it's done, it looks so pretty. Okay, now I'm going to tear it nicely and slowly in the name of God, because I don't want to destroy the paper. Alright, now I'm going to create a bookmark first. So this is the standard size of bookmark which I always use. This is 2 by 7 inches, and I'm going to stick this piece of maroon colored cardstock on the back side of the watercolor page like this. And once it's stuck properly, I'll trim off the extra. Also, I'm not going to throw anything away because I'm going to use the entire page for some project or the other. So once the cutting is done, I'm going to now use distress ink in the shade Spun Sugar. This is a very light shade of distress ink, and using a sponge dauber, I'm going to add in the color like this, and I'm completely fine with the ink going a little more deeper towards the center, because it's very light and matches perfectly, blends perfectly well with the color of the flowers. And I'll also round the edges. The size that I'm going to use for rounding is R7. I always first distress and then round the edges, although I should be doing the other way around. First I should round and then do the distressing. So next time I'll do that. And these are the printables from my Digi printable set I had come up with, I think, a few months back, and I'm cutting it down to the required size. These are quite thick paper which I've used to take printouts, and I'm going to use this vintage pink color postcard because the flowers are also pink in color. The back side is ready. Okay, it's already designed. So the front side, I'm going to use this piece, leftover piece, and mark it in such a way that all the borders are even, and I'm going to trim it to the required size. Now the third page also, I'm not going to throw it away. You'll see me use it in another way. Now for the postcard, since this is going to be the front side, I'm going to distress it using vintage photo. I'm using vintage photo because the postcard also, the back side of the postcard is also vintage, so that it kind of matches. Now I'll use glue and stick the paper down. And I'm eyeballing it in such a way that equal border is seen, and I'll again distress it using distress oxide because it's too white. The border is too white and I want it to blend in with the vintage photo. Okay, so the postcard is ready and it looks really pretty. You can use it to send off to someone, or you can also use it in your journals. You can write things down at the back and put it in your journals. Now the last leftover piece, I'm going to distress it again using vintage photo, because now I'm too lazy to change the ink. So whatever is there in my hand, I've used that. And earlier in this video I had shared a leftover page, right? Some things were left over, so I have used a few pictures to complete it, just giving an update. And now I'm going to take a fresh page and I'm going to stick it down like a pocket. So once I've decided the placement, I'm going to add glue on 3 sides only, and I'm going to stick it like a pocket. So inside you can add your writings. So I'm going to add a tag, a vintage tag, which I have in my stash, and put it inside like this. It's because it looks like a pocket, and I can do some journaling later on. So alright guys, so this completes the tutorial for today, where I have used flowers and created these fun projects. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye.